Here, as you can see, there's a lot of granite in the soil, and a lot of rock, busted up, sharp rock, big rocks, round rocks, all kinds of rocks. It really did a great job on my hand. It tore it up, cut it up, trying to, because with this type of heavy material, it's hard to wash out, but it does loosen it up, so you have to reach your hand in there and pull that rock out so you can keep digging. This is, the city had dumped a bunch of river rock in here, so it's very difficult to make a hole. But I ended up making a hole, as you can see. A foot deep. And it didn't take a whole lot of work just washing it down. But what's really fascinating about this is, since I didn't use a manual tool, I ended up with a painted yellow rock that was... There's my painted yellow rock right there. See that? That means there's a city gas line right there. And you don't want to be using tools to dig that out with. That could be a bad thing. But washing it down, it ain't a bad thing at all. Nothing can happen. I ended up doing several holes as test holes to make sure I didn't look bad. This is gravel. It only went down about a foot. And I have one over here that is gravel, mud, and mixture. And it went down, less than a foot. That's really difficult to do that in rock there. This one right here, this one went down, I believe 3 or 4 feet as I washed it down. You see the residue, how it washes off. I'll be doing a hole right here. What I'm trying to do is save this tree because it's not getting water, because I have plastic that is isolating the water to get down to the tree, as you can see here. And here, see all the plastic, so it doesn't let the tree get any water. So the tree is dying. So I need to get this tree some water, or I'm gonna have to cut it down. So this little device is really helping me out, because there's no way in heck I could be digging that, being disabled like I am. And it's very tiring. I now have to dig through the little rock, because this had rock on the landscape at one time and plastic, so I have to break that because it's real damaging to the tool to try to break through that. When I first tested this tool, I did do that, and I did some damage to it a little bit, but the thing still works great. As you can see right here, I'm right on top of some plastic. And that plastic is holding this water here. See how well it's like a swimming pool. That plastic just doesn't want to let that water go through it. So I have to remove that plastic. If I were to try to punch through it with a tool, you could damage it. So why not take a second and get that plastic out of there. Those rocks. Ooh, there's another rock. Alrighty, here we go again. You can make it as big a hole as you want, just go up and down on the sidewalls and wash it out. You can see it doesn't take a whole lot of time to make yourself a nice little hole. Depending on how deep you want to go, yes, you can go pretty deep. We have buried this thing in the backyard. As I had on another video I wanted to show you guys. Never heard it back from you. Oh, here we go. Let's see if we can bury this one. Just for the video. I'm just using regular house water pressure, nothing big, with one of your nozzles. It came with this unit, except for my little modification on the adapter, which I made, which works very good. Okay, I got a lot of rock down there. That's about as far as I can go. That's about as far as I can go. So, let's see this. That's 42 inches right there. That's 42 inches minus the nozzle. I mean, add the nozzle. So it's about 40, yeah, about 43 inches. 43 inches in a couple seconds. Not bad. I already did these holes. I'm just going to go back in them and show you how deep they were. This one didn't have any rocks in it, so it was really nice to do. Well, it had a little bit of rocks. That's right. It stopped right about there. So all the rocks that fell to the bottom. But it's still about 42 inches. There, I think I'm on a water line. I think that's a water line. This one had a lot of rock. Granite in it. This is plastics. That one went quite a bit deeper. But every once in a while, blow out the nozzle, and then backwash in it and get some sand. Okay, I'm gonna water this tree and hopefully we'll talk to somebody later about this new invention I made. Thank you. Bye. I've made 13 tests so far with this tool, and you can see even in granite and all those rocks it hasn't done any real damage to it. It's working really well. The nose tip, like I was referring to, should be thicker and maybe have a different wedge so you can, when you pull back on it, well, just a little thicker wedge right in through here so that when you're penetrating this won't eventually break off on you. See right there, it could eventually break off on you with the impact, but if it had a little bit of a taper, like a more of an angle to it to thicken it up down at the base here, everything else works really well. I use a 3M product to glue this back together. It would work for me because I had originally taken that off and tried a different way, but this was the best way to do it, and I just followed your system of re-gluing it and re-pinning it back in there and just putting the hose nozzles right up in front right there where I needed it.